How do you avoid people when they try to bother you, whether it's your family members, your coworkers, your classmates, or anybody or anything that's outside of you? Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. I get this question a lot. It recently has been brought to my attention on TikTok earlier. Make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. They'll be in the description box below. That people bother people. And people will bother you when you're minding your business and you've done nothing to them. And as your favorite mental health specialist, who's your favorite rich auntie, these are going to be the 5 most imperative recommendations in order for you to start applying this. So therefore, what other people do does not faze you. The first thing you have to do in order for you to genuinely stop caring about people is to realize who you are. Until you are confident, until you are secure, until you trust yourself, trust your judgment, trust your intuition, trust yourself, know yourself inside and out, what other people say and do is going to affect you. Why? Because when you're around people, they tend to influence you, whether it's negative or positive. And these people can be your family members. It can be your friends. It can be your coworkers. It can be your classmates. It can be anybody who's in proximity to you, or is around you. So until we figure out who we are, what we stand for, what we like and what we don't like, other people are going to constantly live rent-free in your head because you don't have boundaries. You're not secure in yourself. And you are not able to discern what's for you and what's not. When you don't practice discernment, when you don't practice trusting your intuition, when you don't know who you are, you will easily believe what people say about you, not because you want to believe these things about you, especially when they're negative, but just because you don't know who you are. So my videos are to challenge you. A lot of people who watch my videos, if they're not wanting to elevate or on the same frequency, you are insecure. You do lack confidence. You didn't come from love. You didn't come from support. You don't have the finances. You don't have the resources. And that's okay. When you choose to watch these videos, all I ask, other than you engaging, liking, sharing, and reposting, and let me know what you think, is apply the information that you learn. What you do matters. What you do in this life matters. What you do in this life is going to show up as you grow older. Regardless if you're Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, gay, hey, them, she, we, EFG. So when you decide to watch these videos, I need you to start getting your pen and your paper, and I need you to start taking notes. But the first thing we need to figure out is who you are. You need to know what you like and what you don't like, because people who are not you, especially when they're negative, of course, especially when they're miserable, especially when they want to get a reaction out of you, are going to try you. People are going to say things. People are going to talk about you. People are going to make up rumors. People are going to gossip. You cannot allow that to affect you. I make these videos because fortunately for me, I've never been bullied before. Anything that's ever been said about me, even when people gossip behind my back, they all end up turning on each other, and it always came back to me. So because I've never been bullied, because I've been extremely privileged and fortunate, and I know everyone doesn't know what I know or have what I have, I'm here to share this information. And I will never be bullied. I've been this way my entire life because at an early age, I was installed that. I genuinely need you to learn how to love yourself and genuinely figure out who you are. Just because you see other people do things in life doesn't mean it's for you. So always take what resonates and leave the rest. But until you sit with yourself, until you talk about your insecurities, until you talk about the trauma, until you learn to not be judged, until you to let go of the shame and stop feeling guilty, what other people do and say, it's always going to bother you. These people who are unhappy, these people who are miserable, these people are intentionally choosing to do these things. Nobody has to be a bad person. Nobody has to be evil. Nobody has to misinform people. Nobody has to touch people inappropriately. Nobody has to kick people when they're down. Nobody has to do these things. We all have free will, regardless of what you believe in, God, ancestors, or the universe, or you're atheist. You guys know we don't force religion or spirituality, because at the end of the day, it's not my place to judge you. It is my place, if you choose to be on my account to watch these videos, to recommend, to inform, and to educate, and most importantly, inspire you. So whenever you get the chance, when you're watching this video, you need to figure out who you are. That's the first thing you need to do in order for other people to not faze you. So as you're doing this, as you're making a list of things that you like, as you're making a list of things that you don't like with your notes, because that's what you should be doing, is taking notes when you watch these videos other than engaging, okay? Figuring out the things that you want to focus on and staying stern and firm in it. So if you like to look a certain type of way, look that way. You should be so secure and so confident in yourself that anybody who says anything that's against you is just their opinion. Because people have talked about me my entire life and they're going to continue to talk about me, it doesn't faze me. When people talk about my hair and my eyebrows, none of that stuff matters. Why? Because when you know who you are, what other people say about you, it's not going to move you. And unless these people care about you, love you, finance you, feed you, or support you, it doesn't matter. So that's the second thing. Once you figure out who you are and you know what you like and you don't like, you then can then decide, excuse me, what your boundaries are, what are non-negotiables. When you know who you are and you know what boundaries you want to have, anybody who has a problem with your boundaries, you get a pair of scissors, you snip them off, you cut them off, and you don't have to be around them. Whatever you don't tolerate, whatever you consider to be disrespectful, because disrespect looks different for everybody, it's non-negotiable. So if you have certain boundaries and people feel like they can cross them, why do you want them around you? So the third thing I need you to start doing is asking yourself, who are these people to you to have any type of permission or so say so? I'm the type of person that once you let me know that you don't respect yourself and you think you're going to try to disrespect me, once you let me know that you don't take care of yourself and you're not going to take care of me, because as you grow older in life, you end up having resentment and feeling bitter and feeling angry because of the certain people, places, and things in your life. Now, when you don't show love to yourself or you're not shown love at an early age, when you come from a dysfunctional, chaotic, confusing, disrupting, anything that disturbs your peace environment, that's all you know. So when you watch these videos, you got to make a decision. My videos are not for everybody. I am here to trigger and challenge you if these videos resonates with you as I beat myself up and elevate those who want to get it. Life is about choices. There's a time and a place where we watch these videos, we learn, we apply what we need to learn, we go outside, we have fun. When you go to work, you go to work. When you go to school, you go to school. When you do what you need to do, you do what you need to do. You got to know there's a time and a place for everything. So it's like you have to start using your time wisely. You have to start being very intentional about who you are, what you're doing, and what you're not doing. Because the only way people think they can come into your life and boss you around or bother you is if you don't know who you are. And disclaimer, I'm not here to justify it. I'm not here to condone it. But I don't know why people go out their way to mind your business. I mean, I do know why, but them worrying about you should not affect you. As long as nobody's putting their hands on you, as long as people are not physically attacking you, that's different. If it gets to that point, there are certain ways to handle that. But if people are just saying things about you, spreading rumors and lie, let them lie. Like, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, excuse me, worrying about other people. And you guys, I'm still underneath the weather. So bear with me, turn up the volume all the way up if you guys cannot hear me, or turn on your CC closed captions. But it's just like what other people do does not affect you if you know who you are, you have certain boundaries, and you're okay with yourself. If you really love yourself, why would you allow people who don't know your middle name, who don't know the last 4 digits to your phone number, to call you, to disturb you or disrespect you? And just because you live with people, just because you're related, doesn't mean that you're family. And just because you knew people for 20, 30, 40 years doesn't mean that you're friends. You need to know who your friends are. You need to know who your associates are. You need to know, like, people have levels. Everyone is not my friend. I don't have a lot of friends, and I'm okay with that. Anybody who can't respect my boundaries and what I want in a relationship, I don't need to be in a relationship with you, because when you do know who you are, you do take care of yourself, you do everything for yourself, other people being in your life is a privilege. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. But if people are going to be in your life, what they will owe you is a level of respect. So I need you to answer these questions, and I'm going to end off the video with that. The next time you want to care about what somebody thinks about you, do they pay your bills? Do they finance you? Do they feed you? Did they call on you and check on you? Do they allow you to be seen? Do they allow you to take up space? Do they support you? Do they show up for you? If they don't do any of those things, I need you to start asking yourself, who are these people supposed to be? And it could be your mama, it could be your sister, it could be your brother, it could be your cousin, it could be your man, it can even be your kids. Stop giving people so much more permission over your life. Unless it's God, ancestors, and universe, if you believe in those things, other than yourself. Because it's disrespectful to you. And that's one thing about me. I've never disrespected myself. And I'd be damned, excuse my French, if I ever let anybody outside of me think, especially over here, I block people. When I see hate comments, I block them. I'm not even going back and forth with you. I never have and I never will. And you have to realize that these people have their own insecurities. These people are dealing with their own internal issues. Until they learn to stop being prideful, until they learn how to stop being so egotistical, until they learn how to stop being arrogant, because everyone is teachable. But when you're judgmental, when you assume things, when you think you're holier or better than thou, you're not going to be able to understand that. When you don't know something, you don't know it. I don't know everything. I speak from experience. I suggest and recommend information with the facts and the resources that I have in the research. Those who are going to get it are going to get it. And those who don't, it's not for them. You don't have to force and beg people to like you, to appreciate you, to be nice to you, to be kind to you. Because regardless of the trials and tribulations that people go through at the end of the day, it's still a choice. Going out your way to bother people, make rumors, what is that doing for them? It is nothing good that comes from it. So before you react and respond, ask yourself, what does this person do for me? And of course, it takes time. But because I've been this way and because I've experienced a lot of darkness amongst other people, I've never internalized it. And I'm very grateful for that. That's why I make these videos, because there are a lot of people like you who are lost, who really aren't confident in real life, because energy speaks for itself. And that's another thing. Your intuition is never wrong and it's never gonna lie. If you're gonna be triggered by people, it should be in a positive way. So when you watch my videos and I'm triggering you, it's because you have some self-reflection to do. And it's the same thing that goes with me. We're all reflections at the end of the day. So if people don't do anything for you, why should you care about what they think? What is it gonna change? When people talk about your hair, your eyebrows, your clothes, did they pay for them? Now, unless people are going to send you some money to do certain things, okay, then maybe their opinion can be valid. But there's no substance. Why would you want to listen to somebody who just talked about you? Why do you want to be friends? Ladies, why do I want to be friends with females who just said that you looked a hot mess or you need to do this? Girl, why would I want to be your friend? You just sitting here talking about how I look. You're weird. Why would I want to be with a man who's sitting here talking about how... That's not important. It's superficial and it's shallow. It's very shallow. People who go out their way to disturb your peace, they don't have anything going for themselves. So if you're not going to separate yourself, if you're not going to teach these people, if they're not willing to learn, it's no back and forth. That's how you stop allowing people to bother you. So if you have coworkers and they gossip, you're not there for them. You don't go to work to make friends. And you have to keep that in mind. You could be a loving person, you could be a great person, but you need to know who's your community. Everyone's not your community. Everyone is not your friend. When you go to work, if those people can't have a certain level of professionalism, you need to ask yourself, if you fight this person, are you willing to go to jail and are you willing to lose your job? When you have stuff to lose, when you value yourself, you can't be fighting people and losing your job. Because if you're not willing to go to jail and lose your job, it's not worth it. Same thing when you go to school. If I get into this fight, am I willing to sacrifice my degree that I worked for? Am I willing, excuse me, to get suspended or expelled, to get kicked out of school? I've met people in real life like that. I remember when I was in middle school, there was this one boy. He got into this fight with this other boy over a girl, and he ended up getting held back. Are you willing to go through certain things like that? Now, unless, like I said, these people are putting their hands on you, that's different. But if it's verbal, let people talk. Let them be a hater. Like, you got to let people hate. I just made a video talking about that. Who cares what people think? If they don't finance you, they don't feed you, and they don't know you. And if people are not willing to get to know you, it doesn't matter. Let them think what they want to think. And you have to realize that if somebody is already made up in their mind how they want to feel about you, oh, I'm going to make sure you stand on it. Make people stand on it all 2025. I'm big on making sure that you reap what you sow. If I have to reap what I sow, you're going to reap what you sow. So if you already made up in your mind that I'm stuck up and I'm arrogant, oh, I promise you, you're going to have that narrative. I'm not here to change it. I'm not going to be your friend. That's weird. Because if you were my friend, if these people cared about you and respected you, they're not going to assume things about you. They're going to realize, okay, she acts like this, he acts like this because of this. If people are not willing to get to know you, let them say what they, because it doesn't change anything. If somebody thinks you're ugly, okay, that's how they feel. As long as you know that you're not ugly, doesn't matter. Because what is it going to do? What is it going to do? It doesn't do anything. So I need you to figure out who you are. I need you to figure out what your boundaries are, and I need you to start practicing on those things. Hold on, let me keep it cute. Let me keep it cute. I had to cut and edit that part out. You guys, I'm still underneath the weather. So make sure you guys turn the volume all the way up because my voice is going in and out. But like, I had to keep it cute because that's going to be a story time. That's going to be a different topic for a different video. But moral of the video, it's no reason why you should care about people who don't do anything for you. Just because people talk about you doesn't mean it's true. So if you grew up in dysfunction, you grew up in chaos, and you're tired of those ways, you need to pick a side. And you guys, hopefully my voice sounds better when I come back on here and I make the rest of the videos. But until then, that's how I'm going to leave the video. So I'm challenging you to spend some time with yourself. I'm challenging you to figure out who you are. And I'm challenging you to stand firm in your boundaries. Whoever doesn't like it, they're not for you. Whoever doesn't like it is not for you. And if you've been conditioned to think that people have to abuse you or have you run through hurdles and go through circles and go through ups and no, just to prove, nope, I'm good. The only person that's going to be frustrated and disappointed and in the end and hurt and abused and destroyed is you. It's not going to be those people because I'm telling you from experience, those people are going to live their life and continue to move on. And people are like, oh, it just seems like bad people get away with stuff. Yeah, because they're going to live their life. They don't care. If people cared about themselves, they're going to respect the people around, even when you don't like. Because here's the thing. People don't have to like you, right? Nobody has to like you. Nobody has to like me. That doesn't mean that you have to be disrespectful. If you have to be in a professional setting, because that was the question from one of the young ladies on TikTok, what if it's your coworkers? What about them? They're not your friends. You're the only person who is expecting them. And same thing with your family members. We as people, we have to be responsible for ourselves. I'm telling you guys from experience. Don't you think I've been around people, like I said, who were low vibrational? I have, but I did not allow their energy to get to me because it's not who I am. And if anything, that should be the confirmation that you're not meant to be there. Like, I have so many story times that I could talk about. This is probably one of the longest videos that I'm putting on here. But it's a lot that I could talk about. You're going to have to be around people for a season. And you need to remember that. If you're somewhere where you don't want to be, it's just confirmation that it's time for you to go. That's all it is. If you are being disturbed and people are bothering you that bad, it's time for you to go. It's time for you to move. It's time for you to make some changes. So I'm going to end off the video like that. If you guys have questions, comments, concerns, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you're commenting down below. Turn on your post notification bell. Turn on your subscribe button. Follow me on all social media platforms. This is, like I said, one of the longest videos that I post on here. But it's just like, we're not about to be bothered. It's 2025. You were bothered in 2024. You were bothered in 2023. You were bothered in 2021. You were bothered in 2020. When are you going to stop being bothered? When are you going to figure out who you are? When are you going to actually understand that you have so much more life to live? And you guys, like I said, I sound like a frog. That's because my voice is gone, you guys. So my voice has been like really like just, yeah. But I still posted this video because I recently just got off of TikTok and I wanted to make this video. If you have questions, comments, and concerns, make sure you like this video. I probably said that twice already, but I'm about to end it off now. Make sure you like this video, comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to talk about. And if this video resonates with you, share your experience and put in the comment sections. That's not my business. How other people feel about you, that's not your business. And follow me on all social media platforms and stay tuned for further videos. And if you're interested in a service in a session where their energy is more relaxed, more calm, head to my website at TyGuidance.com. But if not, watch the videos, rewatch them, save them, repost them as many times as you need to. Okay? Love you. Bye.